Okie doke. Okay, here's a good one, Shruti. Can I manifest my car coming in sooner? Okay. So, of course, you can manifest whatever you want. Although I want to invite you to tune into the vibe, like the energy, kind of the mindset behind that question, okay? So, it's kind of when you're like wanting to speed something up, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to do that, but you want to make sure that you're not acknowledging the lack of it, okay? We went deep into this in the last live, so if you guys want to catch that, that is on my YouTube, okay? So the last live, we were talking about how you want to be so busy just embodying the version of you who has the thing, or is landing so deeply in the knowing that it's inevitable, that you're going to succeed, that you're going to get what you want, that you're not really rushed, right? When we're rushed, and I understand that there can be situations and things that seem like they're really important, but you need to remember who you are, right? Because when you're really rushed, when we're kind of operating from this deficit energy, this lack of time, this scarcity of time, and that is not the vibe of someone who knows they create their reality, right? So, you know, how I think this came up, if I'm remembering correctly, in the live last week, was someone was telling me, hey, I've been manifesting this thing for a long time and it's still not here. And they were acknowledging how much time had passed and that they still haven't gotten what they wanted. So, you know, your mind can only be focused on one thing at a time, right? Like you're either focused on knowing for sure it's on the way and really landing in that state of feeling good and feeling abundant and feeling powerful and like, of course I'm going to get it. I don't have to worry. I don't need to understand how it's going to come to me. I just know for sure it's coming, right? Or you're in the vibe of it's not here. Why is it not here? What am I doing wrong, right? So I'm not telling you, Shruti, where your energy is. I'm just telling you to check in with yourself of what energy you're embodying with that, okay? So that's always the first step. Second step is if you feel a little bit frustrated or nervous, frustrated with how long it's taken or nervous that it won't come in on time, you can just affirm really general. So this will help release a lot of resistance. Just be like, everything I need shows up on time. I always have everything I need. I'm always guided. I'm always led. I'm always supported. I am always provided for. And I'm choosing to know and trust that this car, in your example, is no different. Okay? So if you can land more in the energy of, I know it's on the way, I know it's going to show up on time in the perfect way, or of course I have it, it's already mine. That's going to help you manifest it more quickly. Really calling on that I am power within you, claiming it for you now. A way I want to help you guys understand that, because I know that can be a little tricky to understand. And give me 1 second. I have the ceiling fan on and it's kind of cold. I want to turn it off. I'll be right back. Hey, buddy. Okay. So one way that I want to help you guys understand claiming it when you don't physically see it and saying, oh, it's here, it's already mine, I've already received it, to help your logical mind understand that. Because when we do that, that is very powerful, but then oftentimes our mind resists it, right? We're like, yeah, but it's not here. Okay, so when your mind does that, it's like, yeah, but it's not here, you can acknowledge it. You can be like, yeah, I see that. So what? So what? I've claimed it. Understand that you're claiming it in your inner world, in your 4D. And when you claim something in your 4D and you stick to that identity of the person who has that thing, no matter what your 3D is showing you, it has to be made manifest in the 3D, okay? I was explaining this to someone in my comment the other day, in the comments on one of my videos the other day, that, you know, think of it as your 3D is just catching up with you. And then you can affirm things like, my 3D is catching up rapidly. Like, things are showing up for me rapidly. I'm amazed at how quickly my intentions manifest, because you're understanding that you've claimed it within. So that's how you can understand this hopefully better without feeling like delusional, like you're crazy, of saying something's here, it's already arrived, it's yours, you're the person who now has that thing, without like feeling like, but it's crazy, it's not here. You need to spend time dwelling in your inner world where that thing does exist, where you do have it. Stop being in the 3D where it appears like it's not there. Does that make sense? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know if that's making sense, okay? And I can try to think of another way to explain that. This manifestation is really a game of, it's an internal game. You're so welcome, Shruti. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have more questions about that, okay? So manifestation is an inner game. It's a game of going within and giving it to ourselves, deciding what we want, and then trusting that decision and knowing that there's no way it will not show up on the outside. And so you want to kind of spend more time in your inner world, working on your self-concept. Who do you believe you are? Some really powerful things to work on in your self-concept would be, I am the God of my reality. I am the creator. I am not separate from anything. I don't need to know and control how it shows up. I don't need to look for evidence because it's going to show up. That's a done deal. I'm not going to sit and observe the reality where it seems like it's not here. I'm going to sit and observe my inner reality where it is here. I am God. I am powerful. I always get what I want. I am the one creating my reality. I am sovereign. What I say goes. Work on building your faith in yourself of who you are. Really understanding your God self, your I am power, understanding that. The more you dwell in that, you'll notice how quickly things shift on the outside. And understand that the second you wanted it, the second you thought of it, it's done. It's yours. And if you're someone who's really afraid of like, oh, what if the negative things I think manifest? Say, only my fears and doubts never manifest. Only my desires manifest. And go general and say, things always show up for me in the best way, in the perfect timing. I am delighted constantly at my life because it is the most beautiful unfolding. Things are showing up. The good things are showing up from all directions. Abundance is pouring into my life. My desires are chasing me down. I can't believe how good it is. You know, start saying things like that instead of looking for evidence in your 3D. When you're looking for evidence, it's like you're acknowledging that it's not here yet. You gotta be a little bit delusional. And here's the thing. When your 3D is showing you something you don't like, it should feel good to ignore it and go within and cultivate something that does feel good. Think about it. When you were a kid, you probably had a really great imagination, right? Kids are so much more carefree and magnetic because they're not so worried about looking at how things are on the outside. Just gotta remember, there's always so much more than meets the eye, right? Let me go through and see any questions and comments. Brenna says, the small things I've been manifesting, butterflies aren't showing. How do I regain hope? Okay, hopefully I've been answering that here. I mean, to be honest, I am not a fan of manifesting small things. And I know a lot of law of attraction people want to say, oh, manifest a free cup of coffee, manifest like that, ask for signs. I'm all about just going in and affirming for what I actually want and working on self-concept and reminding myself daily who I am. And you can say things like, I see evidence of my power every single day. My desires show up for me nonstop. You know, you can affirm that you see evidence every single day. And when things look like they're not moving or not working, just refuse to say that story. That is the story of a victim. You are no longer a victim. You are owning your I am power. So your story is, it is working. Things are moving. Even if I cannot physically see them, they're working. And when it's working behind the scenes, I know it's magic and miracles being worked together for my good to rearrange everything in my favor and bring me everything I want, even better than I hoped for and better than I imagined. Thank you, universe. Thank you for taking care of everything. Thank you that it gets to be this easy. Let me go about and enjoy my day because, oh, that thing I'm worried about? No, I'm not worried about it because I know it's being worked out for me. In fact, it's already done. And I'm going to watch it play out in my favor. Does that make sense? Jack says, does watching too many manifestation videos put your SP or desires on a pedestal? I don't know. What do you think? I would not focus so much on your if you're asking this question, what I'm intuitively getting for you is I would not focus on your desires so much and, you know, what you think you want to change. And I would focus more on reminding yourself of who you are. Okay? Remind yourself of your power. You can do that through affirming. If you're a meditator, you can meditate. I think it's does Neville do a I am meditation, right? Like kind of getting into the void state, if that resonates with you. But just remember, you want to minimize the importance of your desires. Like when we have our desires as this big crazy thing that seems so impossible, what we're doing is if whatever we're putting on the pedestal, by default, everything else is beneath it. So when you put your desire on the pedestal, you're beneath it. How are you ever going to access it? You need to see yourself as equal or higher. So go ahead and put yourself on the pedestal. You are the operant power. You are naturally magnetic to what you want. You are God. So naturally the 3D does what you say it does, but you don't need to do it in a controlling way, because when we've been asleep to our power and we've been suffering under the delusion that we're not powerful, that we're not creating our reality, that things don't work for us, it's going to be a little hard to just sometimes, now if this feels limiting, don't accept it, but I'm just saying from my personal experience and working with clients, it can be a little hard to jump from, oh, I'm disempowered, I've been embodying a victim, to, oh, let me dictate when and how and everything, the way things show up. Do I believe you can manifest specifics? Of course, you're creating your reality. Whatever you say goes. But when we say stuff like, when you've heard other people teaching this, who say the when and how is not your job, that's in order, my understanding of this, the way I see it, is that's in order to help reduce resistance. Because our logical brains wouldn't be like, but yeah, how? I don't see a way how, or when, or this trying to manifest on a time crunch. Can you do it? Yeah. But not, again, usually from a sense of lack. That's typically difficult. These are not hard and fast rules. These are just things that I've observed and experienced, okay? So you can kind of bridge the gap with, I don't need to worry about when or how. Everything works out for me perfectly in divine timing. You know, if you can develop some of these general positive beliefs about how manifestation works for you and how powerful you are and how everything's working for you and you always get what you want and things actually show up even better than you imagined or hoped for. If you can work on that, you're going to allow for magic and miracles to happen without you needing to control every single little detail. Because that would be pretty tedious. If you had to micromanage everything, like you would be busy doing that all day, every day, instead of living your life, which is the whole reason probably why you want the things you want, is because you want to enjoy living your life. So I like to keep it simple. Decide what you want and then know that it's yours. And you know that it's yours by affirming, I'm choosing to trust and know that this is being worked out for me. I'm certain that it's mine because I get everything I want. Everything works out for me. Go general. And then go live your day and follow your highest excitement in each moment. Take care of yourself, right? Like, you know, take care of the things you need to take care of. Work out if that makes you feel good, you know, like do what you need to do. Do things that feel good for you. Be present, be in your body. And then anytime the thing you're worried or stressed about comes up, be like, oh, actually, that's already being taken care of. Okay? So you'll notice how many things resolve themselves if you just give it a little bit of space. It doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge it. It doesn't mean if there's like a clear, obvious step for you to take, that you don't take it. It just means that you do what you need to do. You decide what you need to decide about that. Like, okay, this is the outcome I want, and I'm trusting and knowing that that's how it's going to go. And then, you know, if you're prompted to take any steps, you take those steps, but then you let it go and you give it space to work, right? You know how they say a watched pot never boils? It's kind of like that. You know, you don't want to be frantically checking. That's going to give you an experience of it taking long or being delayed. You want to get out of that energy of waiting, because the truth is it's done. Your order is placed. You don't have to do anything. So remember, you're on the pedestal. You're the one. You're the operant power. And you can tell yourself, oh, my desires, my SP, whatever it is I want, that's no big deal. That's already mine. That's already decided. Moving on. It's kind of like when you know how people say set it and forget it? The reason why that works is because all of a sudden you stopped thinking resistant thoughts to it. So I'm not a fan of like, you know, just ignoring topics that feel difficult. Okay. And I know it's a little controversial. So like Abraham Hicks, you know, says a lot to like, oh, stay off the subject. I get that. And I get where she's coming from. And maybe like in the early part of your manifesting journey, that's important. But I think like once you find the law of assumption, it's important to own your power. Sorry guys, I'm really thirsty. It's important to really own your power to decide. So what I like to do and what I help my clients do is get clear about what you want. So like if you're really afraid about your SP or money or your body or, you know, fill in the blank with whatever it is you think you're not going to get, I want you to decide clearly, no, I am loved and chosen. No, I do get to have exactly what I want. No, I'm not accepting this old story, this old identity. I am wealthy. I'm abundant. Like that's my birthright. I get to have what I want, whatever it is, or healthy, or the body of my dreams, whatever. And then really decide that and then let it go. You don't have to wrestle with it. You've already decided. You know, the rest of the time I'd work on your self-concept of everything's working out for me. I'm a powerful manifester. What I say goes. Rules don't apply to me. I make the rules. Everything is here to support me. Work on that kind of mindset and watch how quickly things work themselves out. But I think where Abraham Hicks is coming from and people who talk about it that way of like, you know, just stay off the subject is, you know, she talks a lot about launching rockets of desire in moments of contrast. So like, for example, when your 3D showing you something that you don't like, you automatically want the opposite, right? So in that sense, the opposite already exists for you. You've already created it. But I think there's something so powerful about intentionally claiming it and then letting it be worked out for you. Let me know if that resonates. Shruti, what are your tips for staying positive in those situations? Sorry, I've been on a roll. I'm forgetting what situations. Do you mean of like, you feel like it's been taking a long time? Hopefully everything I said, I think I've probably answered this already. Okay. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm sorry, I scrolled too far. I gotta scroll back so I can see all the right comments and get back to you guys. But on my last live, I had multiple people ask and say they would be interested in group coaching. So I have created a membership offer. Okay, it's like a monthly membership where there's 2 calls a month bi-weekly, and then there's a private group where you can support each other. We can have threads, like I'll be supporting you in the group too throughout the week. And then during the calls, it's private, private Zoom. So it's like a small group. I'm going to cap it at like 10 to 15 people max, probably closer to 10 because this is my first round that I've done in a long time. Where, you'll get live coaching with me, Q&As, okay? And I have it set up too. So like if for some reason you can't make the call, you can just submit your question in a thread ahead of time and I will answer it for you on the live. And then you have access to all the past lives. It's all in the same spot in the same portal. Okay. So you guys can watch the lives in the off time when we're not having the calls and also support each other and get support from me too through the group. Okay. So if you guys are interested in that, that's also at the link in my bio. Let me look at hang on, sorry. I'm trying to pull up my calendar on my other phone here. I am planning for the first call to be on September 13th. So, or maybe actually September 6th. So then I can do it on the 6th and the 20th. Yeah. So if you guys want to do that, let me know. Hello, Ashley. Welcome. So if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to just DM me, but that's open now too. Okay. Jerome from Denver. Hello. I'm from Colorado originally. Okay. Is it okay to feel sad because I miss someone that I'm trying to manifest back? I mean, it's okay to feel however you feel. You make the rules. I would just say, you know what, there's nothing that can stop me from getting my manifestation. But if I were you, I would care enough about how you feel that I wouldn't want to sit in sad feelings of I'm missing someone, right? That's, again, kind of like focusing on the absence of it. Just focus on like how much you care about that person and how much you can't wait to be with them. And you know that everything's working within them and within you and life to bring you together because you get what you want. I would self-soothe. I would remind yourself that you wouldn't want something if you weren't meant to experience it. Let me know how that resonates. Hi, Chica. Welcome. I don't manifest anything. I just let God just bestow the blessings my soul deserves. That's a good way to look at it. You know, there's no wrong way to do this. You can be intentional. You can be general. From what you're saying, I can see that you already know and have an understanding and a powerful self-concept of you're blessed and you're worthy and deserving, and that it constantly flows in. So that likely, I'm going to guess, is your experience, right? The only reason I don't call myself God is because I created nothing. I make no daily miracles. Well, you know, it's however you understand it. I understand what you're saying. However, I would argue that I don't believe in separation. You know, that's kind of like unity, Christ consciousness of understanding that like you're not separate from the universe. So kind of like when you tell the universe to go bring you something, or you say, okay, work this out for me, you're essentially kind of handing it over to your higher self, your soul, your inner being. But even that is a distinction. We have these distinctions because we're here having this human experience of like, I'm this avatar, I'm Hannah, this is who I am. You know, you have this belief, but really like it's all happening within your own conscious awareness. So in that sense, you get to make the rules. If you want to say, hey, I don't even have to ask, it just all flows into me, that's going to be your experience. If you want to delegate it to God, angels, universe, whatever makes sense to you, whatever you resonate with, you can. I just don't spend a whole lot of... earlier in my journey, I spent a lot of time like contemplating the stars and all of the things and all things spiritual and woo-woo. And like, while there is some beauty in that, and I feel like that was like part of my awakening journey, like now I'm just much more literal about it, and I don't really have time to make it a complicated thing. I'm just like, okay, I get what I say I get. All I got to do is decide. I like affirming. That's me. Some people are big visualizers and scripters. I like to script as well. And some people, like Chica, may just want to believe that good things just come. It's however you believe is how it's going to be done unto you. There's no right or wrong. You cannot get it wrong. So that's the really beautiful part of law of assumption, you know, understanding that you're that powerful. And that's a really good assumption to have, that you can't get it wrong and that you can't mess it up. User says, my boyfriend just broke up with me and I'm spiraling. What do I do? Well, you can acknowledge in those moments when something that I would call unfavorable has happened in my reality. I'm like, okay, yeah, this sucks. I don't like it. And what now? So what do I want? What do I want to create instead? Understand that whatever's showing up in your reality right now is because of where your mind has been at in the past. So it's old. It doesn't even matter. So, and I know when it's fresh and it seems so big and it hurts and all of these things, it can be easy to slip into victim mode, but you just have to really be like, okay, and this is here, this sucks, I don't like it, it doesn't feel good. And I'm going to land back in knowing who the fuck I am. I'm a powerful creator. I'm the one creating my reality. And I'm now choosing to create a reality in which I experience XYZ. Where I'm loved and chosen and committed to, and we're solid. You know, that would be the opposite of a breakup, right? Okay. So you want to really do work on your self-concept. If you're really feeling triggered, like you're spiraling, I would self-regulate. I would just remind yourself that it's okay to feel how you're feeling. This is not permanent. This is not how your story ends up. This is temporary. And you are loved and supported, and you're going to get what you want. And then do whatever would feel supportive for you. Understand that you're not trying to control your boyfriend, your ex. You're not trying to manipulate anyone or anything outside of you. You need to go within and change your mind about who you are and your identity and what you get to experience. Jennifer, I'm at that space where I don't even care if it comes in. Yeah, detachment. That's beautiful. That's a really powerful energy. For me, I get in this space where it's like, it's not that I don't care. It's like I know with certainty that I get what I want, and that the moment I decided, like, it was already being unfolded for me. So I don't care when or how. And I don't care if the 3D looks like it's showing me the complete opposite. Because I'm like, that's neither here nor there. Like, that's just old. It doesn't even have anything to do with me. Like, how other people show up that's not it. Like, I decide. And it's like, I get in the space of like, it's not that I don't care about my manifestation. It's just that I've already decided. So I know for sure I'm getting what I want. And I just look at it as like, you know how like when you're watching a movie and you know kind of how it ends up, like, you know that the main character gets what they want, that you know what works out for them, but you don't know how it's going to work out. So like the plot thickens and maybe some negative things happen and it seems scary, and you know, you're feeling this range of emotions during it as it's unfolding. You know, you might get swept up in that for a little bit, but then you keep leaning back in, oh, but I know it works out. Like you know it's going to work out. So it's more so fun to see how it's going to work out. You're like, oh, I'm along for the ride. And that's kind of how I view it. I'm like, well, I'm the main character. I'm going to get what I want. I know that if it doesn't look like how I want it to look, then it's not the end yet. And I just kind of ride those waves, you know? I've been working on my self-concept for a couple of years, but I feel like I'm just doing it wrong. Well, that's the first thing I want you to correct. I want to shift it with you right now. You're not doing it wrong. You can't mess it up. She says, I try to affirm, but I don't necessarily feel it. You don't need to feel it. I like to feel it. It feels good when you feel it. But sometimes there are things that if you've really formed strong neural pathways in your brain of that things go one way for you, when you start affirming the opposite, it's going to feel like a lie. If you feel anything, it's probably you feel resistance. And then you get to a space where it's kind of neutral. And then when you finally start to believe it because you strengthen the new neural pathway, you will start to feel good. You will eventually. But I want to reiterate, you do not need to feel it in order to manifest it. I would be curious what specific affirmations you're using too, because maybe you're using some that don't really feel good for you. Good time to let you guys know, by the way, for anyone new or returning who hasn't heard of this, my self-concept guide, which you can get if you click the link in my page. When you purchase that, it's yours to keep. It's immediate download. I walk you through all different ways to create affirmations so you can create ones that feel good to you, that resonate with you, because sometimes that's the issue. But sometimes it's also just a matter of needing repetition, needing to just drill it in. There is a little bit of, I found along my journey, sometimes there's a little bit of like doing the kind of boring leg work, just like doing it, showing up, doing it day by day. Hang on, let me plug in my phone. It's about to die. Like, it's not showing that it's charging. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on. I just don't want my phone to die on you guys. Like, the blue light is on my charger. Like, it's getting battery. It's just not showing that it's charging on my phone. I have it behind this thing. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna grab a little wall piece. I'll be right back. I think I saw somewhere that it's Mercury retrograde. I feel like I'm just having a few technical difficulties. I'm gonna keep reading your comments about your self-concept and not feeling it, but let me know if what I'm saying is resonating with you so far, and if anyone has anything else to chime in, let me know. Don't mind me just being a crazy person over here. Okay. have the power strip like behind this big chair. Bear with me, guys. I don't think I've ever been this disorganized on a live before. But it is okay. It happens. My phone is still not showing charging. I'm very confused. I'm dying. Okay, guys, I have to grab another charger. I'll be right back. I love you. Hang on. Hey, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna try this one and see. I'm back. I'm just trying to plug this in. I'm gonna keep switching my stuff off. Yay, we're charging. Okay. I messed up that charger. I ordered a bunch of these long chargers and they're great, but then I messed up this blue one. Okay. But my pink one's working, so we're good. I'm here. Okay. I'm just gonna, guys, I'm sure there have been comments since that last one, but I'm just trying to go through them in the order that they show up so that I get everything. So let me try to catch up real quick, okay? Okay. What could I do more effectively to improve my self-concept? So if you haven't already, if you can let me know in the comments and I'll get to them, what you're doing for your self-concept so far, because maybe I can help you pinpoint like where the resistance is, if you have resistance, or if it's just a matter of needing to repeat it more, okay? Oops. Thanks for being so patient and compassionate in your answer. Of course, you are welcome. Guys, I'm here to support you. I do these lives because I genuinely love helping you guys. And the fact that you're here and you're desiring support and you're desiring to understand these things means that you're already well on your way. Like, you don't come across this for no reason, you know? So I want you to all receive that. Really understand that you're going to get what you want, that things really are working out for you. I scrolled too far and now I'm like missing all the comments. Hang on. Okay, Sarah says, hi, is putting up boundaries with SP in the 3D reacting to the 3D? I don't think so. I teach this from all different angles. Like I don't want, you know, sure, I would argue that it is all happening through our minds, right? Through our conscious awareness. But, you know, when you're looking at your 3D and you realize that you've created some shit, like, you know, take the trash out. You know, like, you don't have to sit in the mess you made. Like, I think boundaries are very important. This is a big part of what I teach. This is a big part of my work. You know, it's like loving yourself enough to no longer accept things that aren't working for you. I always recommend with clients, you know, like, put your boundaries up in a loving way. Doesn't mean you need to, you know, you can do it in a non-reactive way. You can do it very loving and firm, you know? If you have more specific questions about that, let me know, because I love helping people with boundaries. That was something that took me a long time to learn, but once I did, it changed my life for the better. You know, it's kind of like if someone is experiencing an illness, if they're having like something serious going on in their physical body, yes, we can say it's all energetic. The cause is all internal. The cause is all because of our thinking. But would that mean that you don't go seek medical help while you work on shifting your mindset, right? I would say do both. Address it from all angles, you know? And so boundaries, it's like that, right? Like you doing what you feel called to do in the 3D. And you know, sometimes boundaries are so important. It can be so important when we're needing to rework things energetically, because sometimes we have to temporarily or permanently remove ourselves from situations so that we can get our internal state right. Like if you're in a really horrible environment and it's within your power to leave that environment so that you can emotionally regulate and do what you need to do and take care of yourself, then do that. You know, if you're in an environment, let's say you're in a job you don't like, or you're in a relationship or with family that's not that great, and you don't have the ability to physically leave that right this second, what can you do? What boundaries can you put in place? And how can you specifically go in and take care of yourself better so that you can work your way up the vibrational scale? Sheree says, when we aren't getting what we want. Yes, thank you. Okay, good. I'm glad I answered that. Ava, how do I be patient with myself? I feel so impatient and needy, like I'm missing out. Okay, well, that's just a mindset shift. And I understand because I've been there, and I am someone who felt for a lot of my 20s like I was behind, right? I felt like I just wasn't reaching my full potential. And then when I started learning this stuff, I was really hard on myself at first. I was like, well, oh my gosh, it took me so long to figure this out, and now I'm behind. That is just a mindset shift. What I want to offer you today is you're infinite. You're infinite. You are God. You're right on time. You're right on your path. You're going to get everything you want. And another mindset shift I would like to offer you, and I want you to take this if it feels good, is that everything that you've experienced and are currently experiencing is actually perfect to get you to where you want to be. Okay? We went into this in my last life too. So I was talking about like trauma and how do you overcome abuse and trauma. Well, and what I was explaining is, you know, when we experience something that we deem negative, something that doesn't feel good, that we don't like, it almost creates the space for you to experience the complete opposite, right? If you think about people who just kind of like, you know, coast along, and nothing wrong with that, right? Like, but, you know, maybe they're just living a very average, ordinary life. They don't, you know, like maybe like whatever issues they have, whatever, like, you know, maybe they just have like a job that just pays pretty average and all their needs are met and they just feel okay. And like, you know, maybe there was some abuse, but it was like systematic and small and they don't really realize they were abused or whatever. You know what I mean? They're just kind of like living their life. They're likely just going to stay like that. But when you experience something big and shocking that is just like a, oh, hell no in your body, like severe abuse, you know, like a job that's really terrible, you know, really not having enough money, chronic conditions in your body, you know, things like that. It lights this fire within you to be the complete opposite. So, you know, the way I've taught clients over the years, and I do go over some of this in my one program, Emotional Rehab, but, you know, like kind of the shadow work aspect of this, you know, the inner alchemy is to look at this perspective shift, look at the things you don't like, look at the things you feel like you're missing out on, and tell yourself that hasn't been for nothing. None of that stuff has been happening to you just because. It's been happening because you're here to experience something really big. And so because of those things, you now get to experience the opposite. Like turn that pain into power. Do you know what I mean? And affirm stuff like, you know what? Everything is just being worked together for my good in the most beautiful way. And I know that there are so many blessings lined up for me. And I know that things can change quickly and easily. And I am so close. I am right where I need to be. I'm exactly where I need to be. And everything that is coming into my life is good. It's getting better and better, and it's getting easier and easier. And I know that in a really short amount of time, very, very soon, not long from now, I'm going to look back and I'm going to bless the things that broke me. I'm going to bless my process. I'm going to bless the things that felt like they took a long time because it developed grit and strength and character within me. And because of everything I experienced, I now have the capacity and the ability to really enjoy and appreciate where I am. And because of what I went through, I learned my power. Affirm a positive story like that, okay? And you can also do, like, I think we went over this in the last live as well. You know, think of yourself already having received everything you want. Like, you're already in that timeline. not it just happened, not like you just received it. I want you to think like you're in your desired reality and you've been there for a while. And you're thinking back. This is, I think, the I remember when method, kind of, in a way. This is how I do it, at least. And look back and be like, damn, what was I so worried about? It's like, have a moment where you're just living your life. Life is good. Life has been good. And you just have this moment where you pause and reflect, and you, for a moment, remember that you used to be different. That at one point in time, you, not that long ago, you were living a totally different reality. And think, if you could go back and tell your younger self one thing, what would you tell her? Would you tell her, hey, it all works out, don't worry. You're gonna get what you want. You're strong, you got this, you're capable, you're so fucking worthy. Like, what would you tell yourself? Do practices like that of you being on the other side, of you feeling happy and free and fulfilled and not bothered and not worried, you know? That's a really good perspective shift to make your problem seem smaller. To get you out of that energy of feeling like you're waiting, like you're missing out. Because I'll tell you what, once you get what you want, you don't care how long it took. You don't. And I can tell you that from personal experience. And don't think that I have everything I want. I have a lot of things in the works, but that doesn't matter because I've overcome so much. And I look back at the things that I've overcome, the things that at one point in my life seems like this big, impossible to defeat monster. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get there? Like, I didn't even really believe that I could. But there was that little spark of hope within me. And that's what I clung to. And I look back on my younger self with so much mad respect. I think, thank you so much. Thank you for fighting for this. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for going even when it seems so impossible. Thank you for choosing to believe in crazy things. Thank you for feeling your way forward. Thank you for all the things you did in the name of getting what you wanted. Even if, like, looking back, I can see, okay, that wasn't really the way to get there. But, like, the fact that I never gave up, you know? And I know for a fact that you can probably look back at a time in your life where you've overcome something and think of it that way. And I want you to start doing this. And just like, I think it's Dr. Joe Dispenza who talks about remembering your future. You know, understand, guys, with quantum physics, like, time's not real. Time is a mental construct. There's already a version of you who's overcome everything you're going through. And you can tap into that at any time. You can tap into that. You can ask that version of you for guidance, for mindset shifts. You can tap into that version of you just to recode how you're thinking and feeling and believing about the subject and about yourself and your self-concept. But you can also do that. You can also remember it. You know, every time you tap into this desired version of you, be like, I'm just remembering the future. I'm just remembering who I really am. I'm just remembering my highest expression. And then you can go in with general affirmations that support that. Things such as, I am aligned with my highest timeline. I am embodied in my dream version of myself. I've received everything I ever wanted. Let me know how that resonates. If you need me to describe it in a different way. Do you know how to quantum leap manifest? Hello, Trey. So quantum leaping, actually what I just spoke about would be a way to do that. So when we talk about quantum leaping, what I think most people mean when they say that is, you know, drastically shifting your circumstances very quickly. So affirmations to support that is, I am amazed at how quickly my desires show up for me. I experienced a magical shift in fill in the blank, whatever area of your life. It all happens so quickly and easily. Like, affirm that you're on the other side. Be like, I cannot believe how incredibly this worked out. It worked out so well. I'm still months later in awe of the magic and miracles that unfolded for me. Like, of course I believe in manifestation. How can I not believe I just witnessed miracles? So that's a vibe you can play with, you know, being on the other side of it. Hi, Barbie. Okay, Barbie says, I got caught up with a tarot reader telling me he won't contact me. Is that a limited belief? Yeah. Okay. Be careful with tarot readings, guys. And I read cards from time to time on here. But you really want to, and I actually, if you look at my services, I do offer readings, but the way I offer it is from this perspective to kind of just help you see where the limits are in your thinking so you can shift that. Okay. Why, if you know and understand law of assumption, why would you go and fill your mind with someone else's story or version of stuff? Why would you accept random info from someone? Because you're the one deciding. If you see a tarot reading and you're like, heck yes, this resonates, this feels good, this is what I want, and it makes you feel good, then by all means use it. Use it to fuel that within you, your belief, your knowing, whatever. But really check in with yourself and say, is this empowering? Do I want this to be true for me? Because you have to understand, you're the one deciding. I find people, the more they really come to terms with the fact that it's them creating their reality and really understanding law of assumption, the less interested you're going to be in tarot readings. And that's why, honestly, while every time I do a reading, it's positive, people resonate with it, it's always just what they need to hear, I kind of shy away from it because I'm more so wanting to reach people who have a desire to really deeply understand law of assumption. Because to me, like, why go through all the other layers? Like, let's just cut out the unnecessary stuff. You don't need signs. Like, signs are great if you decide that supported your belief and that makes you feel supported and that helps you feel like, oh, everything's working. But you don't want to be dependent on that. There's so much power behind trusting your ability to choose and like know things into being, regardless of what the 3D is showing you, regardless of if it's showing up. You know, there are things that have unfolded for me where it looked for a long time, if we want to say that, like it wasn't working, like either nothing was happening or the opposite was happening. But when I put my mind to something and held the faith and be like, I don't care, I'm getting what I want, some way, somehow this is going to show up, like sometimes that thing just drops into your reality and you think, whoa, where did this come from? It seems like it's coming out of nowhere, out of thin air, but really it was coming together all along. Just in that instance, it was happening behind the scenes, you know? And just to build on this, because I'm reading your question again, Barbie, you're saying, I got caught up with the tarot reader telling me he won't contact me. Is that limited belief? Anything that goes against your desire, you need to steer clear of, okay? I'm assuming you don't want him to not contact you. I'm assuming you want him to contact you. So why would you pick that up? If someone offered me that, I would say, no, thank you. That's not my story. I'm not on that vibe. I'm not on that wavelength. Not in my reality. Scroll, maybe even unfollow that person, because I'm like, what kind of person is putting that out into the world? Like, you will never ever hear me tell you that you cannot have what you want or that something's too big or impossible, because that is just not true. It is just not true. You're going to have an experience of that being true for you if you choose to believe that. And I'm here to help you get out of your own way and release all the bullshit lies that tell you you can't have what you want. I'm here to help remind you and wake you up and remind you of who you are. That you get to have what you want because you do. Okay. Hi, V. Welcome. Did you ever struggle with staying in the knowing state? I'm currently 80% self-concept and 20% SP affirmations. Well, one, that is great. Keep doing that. You know, do the SP affirmations whenever it feels good, and then like make sure you're always landing back in your self-concept work. That's perfect. But yeah, I've struggled being in the knowing state, of course, because the whole reason we find manifestation, law of attraction, law of assumption, all of these things is because we're not realizing at that time that we create our reality, and we're beginning to wake up to our power. So of course, we, you know, if we've been embodying a victim, if we've been experiencing being a victim to our reality, not knowing our power, we're going to have by default created a lot of evidence out there to support that claim that I don't have any power over this. People and systems and structures outside of me have all the power. Okay? So yeah, in the beginning, it's a little hard to accept that, you know, it's funny. It's like, it just takes consistency to really come to terms with the fact that you are creating your reality, that you are that powerful. But I'll tell you, the more, keep going. What you're doing sounds great. Keep going. Just know with repetition, the more you stay consistent with it, the more it's going to be instilled as a belief within you, and the more it's going to show up for you. And then you will create evidence. There's often a time where it looks like there's no proof of what you're affirming for, but you'll land often. Usually I see this with clients, and this has happened with me, you know, before things shift in the outside, you kind of have this internal knowing of it has no choice but to show up. Like, I'm so certain this is mine. It's going to show up, and you get excited and kind of detached, and you're in this state of peace of just knowing. And then it's super fun when the results do start coming in, because, you know, you're here in a physical reality to experience physical results, you know? So just remind yourself of that. And once you start getting evidence of that, you need to work it, really milk it. The evidence you see, see, because I'm powerful, because what I say goes. When I want something, it shows up. And use every little piece of evidence in your favor as you start seeing things, and they'll just keep rolling in. That's why they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, right? Because, you know, when you're having experience of not enough money, when you think that, when you have a poverty mindset, you keep seeing evidence of that. And then when you're in a victim mindset, you just keep reacting to everything you see. Oh my God, here's another bill. Oh my God, I just got laid off. Oh my God, all these things. It's difficult. Inflation, all the stuff, right? Whereas people who are wealthy, everywhere they look, they're surrounded by abundance. They're lucky. Money's coming at them from all directions. They're prosperous. They're successful. They can buy whatever they want. They feel luxurious. Money just keeps coming into their lives. Okay? Doesn't mean you need to be born into money. Doesn't mean you need to have money right now. You can go from complete poverty to complete wealth and abundance, but you got to work your way up, you know? So just, you know, whenever you feel triggered by your circumstances, and apply this to whatever you want, SP, body, health, you know, whatever you want to apply it to. But, you know, anytime you're feeling triggered, just remind yourself, you know what, that's old programming. That's not my story anymore. I'm no longer believing I'm a victim, because I know better. I know who I am. And then go in with your self-concept. And go in with your general blanket affirmations. Okay? Ava, if everything is connected and already done, why do we desire things? Well, because you know at a soul level what's available to you, and your human avatar wants to experience that. You want to experience the fullness of who you are. Let me know if that makes sense. Hello, Bella. Welcome. Sorry, sometimes I scroll and then it scrolls too far. Hang on. Sylvia, I'm in a rut because I'm currently unemployed but looking for inspo. Well, you are in the right place. So if you just joined, I invite you to go to my profile and click on the link there. And sign up for my newsletter if you would like, because I send out weekly newsletter. I'll keep you up to date with any new content and stuff that's out. And also click on my YouTube and subscribe there, because I put replays of these on there. Okay. I also have some reprogramming tools there, affirmation subliminal tracks for money and wealth mindset and abundance mindset. I also have a program called Align with Wealth. I also have a program, Manifestation Mastery. So if you're looking for more support, you could look at those things. I offer one-on-ones, sessions. I just opened group coaching, guys, for those of you who were asking. I'm going to do the first call on September 6th if we have people signed up. Okay. And they're going to be bi-weekly calls. I have email coaching, all the stuff. Okay, Angel, can you still manifest SP even though 3D he is entertaining other women? Drop that story. Stop looking at the 3D. Work on your self-concept of, I am the best and only option. My SP only has eyes for me. This is a favorite delusional one that I love. I'm like, I ruin all women for my SP. I'm the only one. No one compares to me. My SP cannot rest until they are with me. The thought of other women makes them sick. I love SP affirmations. Sarah, thank you so much. SP comes to see our son and tries to be close to me, but I put up boundaries. Good for you. Keep working those boundaries. Do whatever feels supportive to you. Just keep checking in with yourself. What do I need? What do I require right now? You know? And then do your manifestation work. Do your self-concept work. Because he does not say or express feelings, so I said maybe we shouldn't do the family time and he can take our son with some time, but he doesn't think I'm okay with being his friend or friends with benefits. Yeah, I mean, whatever you need to do to remove yourself from the situation and rework that dynamic. Because I can tell you, if you keep engaging in the same old dynamic, you're going to keep that old story alive. So yeah, like just don't be afraid to set those boundaries and those limits. Do whatever you need to do to protect yourself and what you're creating. And just know that you have the power to totally shift that dynamic. You can manifest your SP coming back proper and the way you desire. Hey, Hannah, you look beautiful. Well, thank you. That was a nice compliment. Hey, Ashley. Hannah, I lost my job unexpectedly. I was upset for about 10 minutes, then relieved. Right? Ashley, you are you've been working on your power so much. It is so beautiful to watch. Where am I from? I'm from California. I realized that I have been wishing I could take more than 2-week vacation, then I needed more space to heal and rest. I got a month's comp and approved for unemployment, so I know it's fine. See, you're always so supported. I'll tell you what, Ashley, when I was healing my body, it's so crazy because now I'm in a phase of my life where I'm actually really busy. I have a lot going on. But for a couple of years, even after my body did heal, I just was I was tired. I needed more rest. I just really needed a slow, gentle, soft life. And it's funny because now I'm on the other side of that and I'm kind of feeling more back to my usual self. But, it's crazy how things shifted. Part of that happened during COVID. So it was funny how that happened where it was even if I wanted to work, I couldn't at that time. I could only kind of work on my business, but that wasn't my full-time job at that time. And it's so funny because I was telling my girlfriend this the other day. I was I feel like things happened and lined up to support me taking that rest. I'm back working out at the gym now because I want to, because it feels good for me. But for several years, I just did gentle yoga. I did yin yoga. I had been a gym rat my whole life. And it was crazy that I just got that intuitive hit. You know what? Your body just needs to rest. And so I just worked on my emotional healing and I worked through some forgiveness stuff with family and just things I needed to do, So I love that you're seeing how this is supporting you. And I know for a fact that you're going to be more than fine. I stand in agreement with you that you are abundant. You're abundant because that is just who you are and there's no way around it. And money's not limited in how it can show up for you. And you will be supported. And everything's happening for you. And I'm celebrating the wins you've already had. And I'm celebrating for you the fact that you got a month's compensation and that you got unemployment. They got approved for unemployment. Okay. And I'm excited for you to use this time to focus on you. I feel like this is just going to accelerate things for you. I wouldn't have quit job on my own because the job was too good. Yeah. I love that you can see how perfect this is. And I'm excited for what comes up for you. So feel free to keep me updated. Bella, what's the best way to manifest communication or text from someone? Thank you. Best way is to not focus on a text. Do you want to manifest a measly text, or do you want to manifest someone being so freaking obsessed with you that of course they're blowing up your phone all the time because you're just that amazing? Feel me? Work on that self-concept. Ashley, I also got 4K. Ashley, your debt keeps getting erased. I love it. I also got 4K debt wiped and made a $400 profit. Tell me more about that. I would love to hear that story. That's incredible, because I remember you telling me like your credit card, you got like a credit on your credit card statement, like that some of your debt got, like, it got lowered, your credit card bill got way lower. That's amazing. Ashley, I love hearing these stories from you, because and I just want to point out, you know, like your main focus on manifesting for this last while has been healing your body. But as you've been working on your self-concept, you notice how all these money miracles have been showing up for you. Whereas, let's say someone whose main thing they're working on is money, maybe that's the area they struggle in. Maybe they'll find it easier to manifest love or manifest health or something. So I just want to point out, guys, that whatever you're manifesting, don't feel discouraged when other things, good things manifest for you. If the thing you've been working at for a while doesn't seem like it's shifting, just know that, just affirm everything good that comes in. Wow, it's working. And just keep working through any resistance and limiting beliefs around the subject you want. You know, don't, you know, I know people say sometimes avoid the subject, that doesn't feel good, but I beg to differ. I said this earlier, and I'm going to say it again. Like if money is your thing, or body or SP or whatever is your thing that you're struggling with, really take a look at your beliefs on that and really be willing to put in the time to reprogram positive beliefs for it. You know, because it's your beliefs creating. So if you have to go in with, I am abundant, money flows to me like water. Money's always coming to me. Money's chasing me down. I have more money coming in than going out. I am overwhelmed with how much money I have. Making money is easy for me. SP loves me. I am the only one. I'm a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm a once in a lifetime woman. I'm too good to lose. I'm too important to miss out on. Of course I'm loved. Of course I'm chosen. Of course I'm committed to. There's no competition. My body is healed. Divine health is my birthright. I have my dream body. I wake up every day looking and feeling amazing in my body. My body, I don't need to know how it's going to heal, because it just heals itself. It is healing rapidly. I'm healthy. I feel amazing. This is the body I always dreamed of. You got to go in and hammer. I don't care what people say. Hammer in those beliefs. Yes, you want to regulate. Yes, you want to feel good. Yes, it's great if you can try to feel it real. It's great when you can line up the feeling with the belief. But sometimes, if you're in resistance, you just got to be willing to do the mindset work. I'm telling you, because once these beliefs really lock in, once you tell the new story enough times that it trumps the old story, trust me, you'll start feeling better. But yes, you can do things to regulate and feel good and generate, kind of self-soothe and feel calm and general affirmations of, I know this is working. I don't need to see evidence. I know it's working. Everything's working out for me. I get what I want, do that work too. Do them both at the same time. If that's something you guys really want support with, Manifestation Mastery would be a good program for you, because I lead you through all of that work. Okay? Not just the mindset work. I lead you through the emotional regulation, the embodiment work too. Okay? Ashley's taken Manifestation Mastery, so you can let people know what you think of that, what your experience was. Barbie says, thank you for this live. It's so useful. You are so welcome. And Bella says, I'm glad you asked about tarot. I had that experience too. Yeah, just careful with tarot, guys. And don't forget, guys, I will be uploading the replay of this live to my YouTube channel, probably like tomorrow, okay? So you can catch it there if you want to rewatch it again, just kind of let things sink in deeper, or if you didn't catch the beginning. Kay says, hello, Kay. Kay says, good SP affirmations. I see angel numbers, but no 3D action other than opposite. Well, I've done a lot of SP affirmations here. I'm not sure what the exact details are for you, but I would say, let me think, what feels good for you? I'm not worried. I know they're going to come to their senses. Kind of work with the evidence you're seeing. Be like, that's okay. They just are having a moment. They're being a little dumb right now, but it's okay. I know they're going to come to their senses, because clearly I'm a catch. They know deep down I'm the only one for them. Whatever needs to be worked out within their mind and heart for for them to come crawling back to me will happen because I am the one. Let me know if that resonates. Ashley, Hannah, thanks for sharing that part of your story of allowing gentleness and rest. Yeah, of course. I felt that very much so and was resisting it. But do you see how supported you are? I love that you're in this space, Ashley, to really be able to receive that and really see it and recognize it. And I'm excited because I think things are going to happen quickly for you. Elda, how do I keep manifesting self-concept state that makes my manifestations coming in? Well, just say that. Every single day I'm seeing evidence. I am amazed at how quickly my manifestations are coming in. Every day, good things are happening for me. Because I said so, because that's what I want. I'm God. Why would I want a day to go by where I'm not receiving what I want? No. You know? Just like in the same way, let's say you're in a committed relationship, that person's going to be texting you every day. There's not going to be a day that goes by, whether or not you live with your partner, where your partner's not texting you, right? It's just out of the realm of possibility. So think of it like you're in a committed relationship with your desires. Your desires show up for you every day, no matter what. Bella says, thank you. You are welcome. Ashley says, that's a good point. Wow, it's working. I can manifest amazing in one area. I can have it in all. Yes. Yes. Amen. Because so often it's like, you know, we look at the one area that we've seemed to struggle with and we're like, well, I can manifest everything but that. Well, use everything that you've successfully manifested to prove to yourself, I'm an amazing manifester and I no longer struggle in this area. I no longer struggle in my health. I no longer struggle in money. I no longer struggle in my career. I no longer struggle in relationships. I'm no longer worried and anxious. I don't have anything to worry about because I've mastered that. I now fully believe and know and trust that I can manifest anything I want, including this, especially this. Ashley, you remembered. Yes, one card lowered debt from $2,700 to $300. I laid that easily, and then I paid that easily in the other. It's amazing. I love it. Has an unusual story today that looked bad at first. I got served with papers and got matched with a lawyer who specialized in this. He knew a loophole and got the creditor on a technicality. This is amazing. So I paid the lawyer $600 and was given $1,000 check at the end and sent waived. Ashley, I love it. Ashley, you, during this time off, maybe want to collect all the evidence you have of all the money miracles you've had and just help put it out there if you ever feel called, or just share it on these lives so people who are struggling to manifest money can build their faith. Okay, did you see my comment? I'm trying to manifest my wife back. She's hot and cold and says she doesn't miss me or want me. You got to work on your self-concept. It doesn't matter what she's doing. You guys have to stop giving your power away to people and circumstances outside of you, because guess what? You created them. They're only responding to you in your old concept of self, which now you're free of. That's not yours. That is not your story. So you're not going to pick that back up. You have to detach from what's going on around you, and you have to take your power back. You cannot keep playing the victim and think you're going to manifest what you want. A little tough love. I just see people getting so bent out of shape over SPs, and I'm like, who cares what they're saying? That's just the old version of them that you created because deep down you didn't believe that you got to be loved and chosen. Work on you. Work on your self-concept. That is the answer every single time. You know, and we can, if you guys feel like you're struggling to manifest and you don't really know where you're blocked, or you're just struggling to keep the faith and you want support, like sign up for my group coaching, sign up for email coaching, do a one-on-one session with me, get the help you need, get my self-concept guide, do whatever you need to do. You know, if you work with me one-on-one or in a group setting, it's great because, you know, when you can tell me, I can take the time to look specifically at like, what's your story? What's going on? You know, check in with you. Like, how's your energy actually all day? How are you feeling? What are you affirming all day? Are you landing in the state of the wish fulfilled? Or are you focusing on lack and focusing on what's not showing up? You know, are you affirming? Are you on top of your mental diet? What are you doing? You know, and help you see where these blocks are so that you can shift it, because you just got to do the work, guys. And the work isn't sitting around and looking and taking score of everything that's going wrong. You cannot do that and manifest what you want. Okay, have a hard time with SP hot and cold behavior. Well, I know movement is a... Okay. K spelled with just a K and then K spelled K-A-Y are both asking the same thing. If you want help working on self-concept, I would recommend a good place to start. The most affordable place to start would be to download my self-concept guide. I go in there and I help you identify your current self-concept and then identify the self-concept you need to create in order to get what you want. And then I help you create affirmations and self-talk and mental diet and a new self-concept so that you embody and become this and start thinking and feeling like the person who has what you want. So that would be the most like affordable way. Okay. It's $55. It's a whole ebook. I think it's like 60 plus pages. I give you like little workbook sections in there. I really break it down in a simple, no BS, easy to understand way. People who've bought that have come on my lives and told me like, hey, I've been doing the affirmations and I'm seeing amazing results. So that would be the best way. It's set up with Stripe, I believe. Okay, so just check that. Everything's linked in my bio. You could also join my group coaching if you want, okay? Or email coaching, like all the offers, everything I have, guys, is linked at the top of my page in my link tree. And for anyone who's just hopping on, the replay of this live and all my other past lives will be, you can find that on my YouTube, okay? So, you know, get plugged in. If you guys want support and you can't afford coaching right now, just get plugged in. Follow me here so you get notified when I go live. Sign up for my free newsletter that goes out every Sunday, okay? I typically will send links to like replays and of the trainings and stuff in case you missed it. There will be an encouraging message from me in there. Also, any new offers will be there. So it's a good way to stay in touch and up to date, okay? What else would I like to say? I think that's it. I think I've been on here about an hour. I've been on here a little over an hour. So this feels complete now. I'm going to wrap this up. Ashley says, I need to watch the replay for this one. It's been so good. I'm glad. Yeah, watch the replay for sure. And I'm thinking to pick a day. I'm going to sit down and think like what day specifically would be good to go live, like a day and time, because that is something I'm working on, like more structure and consistency with this to show up for you guys so you guys can know when to expect me, okay? You're so welcome, Ashley. So I will probably just announce that next time I'm live and probably in the newsletter on Sunday. So call for group coaching. If we have enough people sign up, will be the 6th. If for some reason, guys, just like this still is a lot of my stuff's automated, but stuff like the group coaching or like if you sign up for it, it's a monthly subscription. If for some reason we end up not having the call until like later in the month because there's not enough people or whatever, however that works, if there's an issue with that and the timing, I will just reach out to me or I'll reach out to you. I'll be aware of who's signing up because I'm keeping it limited. I don't want a ton of people in the group because I want it to be like a small private group. I'll refund you for whatever, you know? So don't worry about that. Just like if you want to sign up, just sign up. And then as of now, I'm planning for the first call to be on Wednesday, September 6th, okay? And they're bi-weekly calls. And then as it keeps going, you know, like this first round, you're going to be the first ones, but as it keeps going, you know, the replays will be building up in the group. So that will also be like really helpful for anyone who joins a little bit later on. You'll have all of these replays to go back and watch in between the calls. And then there's also group support and all the stuff in there. So you can read more about that. It's in my bio. Okay. I know a lot of you had asked for that. So I opened up that option. So hopefully that's supportive for you guys. But I want to thank you all for being here. It was nice to see returning people, nice to see some new people. I intend that this was helpful. Thanks for being here. Thank you for a good time, a good talk. Thank you for all of your questions. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.